welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about how to use the ELV control and the ELV tabs for weight loss. And if you know me, you know that I use the original version of these supplements to lose 50 pounds and it completely changed my life. So we're going to go over a lot of stuff today. So we'll talk about the dosage, instructions on how to use it, what to expect, the benefits, and just lifestyle recommendations. So let's get into it. So first I just want to do a quick overview of my experience and my weight loss success that I had with the original supplement, and it was called the Tech with the Root, or I always refer to it as either Alipotech or the Root. I had used that to lose 50 pounds. I started at 221 pounds and then I lost 50 pounds at my lowest. I started taking it in 2018. I had lost 20 pounds with my first bottle effortlessly. I had barely worked out, but it really did help with my appetite. I had a really bad problem with overeating, emotional eating, and at that time that was really a thing that I was struggling with. I was always so grateful for the supplement because it really helped with my anxiety over food. I just never stopped thinking about food. It was just something that I always thought about, when was my next meal gonna be, and I just was eating so much that I was uncomfortable and laying down. I didn't feel like I was living my life how I should be, and I felt like because of the way that I was at, I wasn't living to my full capability, and I felt like it was always holding me back. That's why I always say that it just changed my life. It helped me become more confident. I was just blessed to have heard about it. So that's why I feel like I'm just such a huge advocate for it, because I know how much it helped me and changed my life. And I've kept it off since then. So the first bottle I had lost 20 pounds, each bottle lasts 3 months. And then I was kind of taking it on and off since then and have lost more weight since then. That's my story. A very brief overview. Unfortunately, that supplement is not on the market anymore, but we do have the control. So we always had the Root and the control. So this is what the control looked like. They actually just changed the bottle and the formula to this bottle right here. So that's why you probably won't see this bottle as much and you'll be seeing this bottle moving forward. There are differences in these bottles that I'll go over later. But the ELV control and the ELV tabs are the only detox supplements that we have at the moment. So for the control and for the tabs, you each just take one of these a day, and you wouldn't take both. You'd have one or the other. You'd pick one or the other, control or the tabs, and you would take this usually after your largest meal, but the control does have caffeine in it now. So most likely wouldn't want to take this after 3 o'clock because this will give you energy. You don't want it to keep you up all night. I would say if you have a decent sized meal after breakfast, that's a perfect time to take it, or even after lunch, that's perfectly fine too. If you're taking this after lunch, breakfast, whatever it is, you just want to make sure that you're taking it after you eat. So you don't want to take this on an empty stomach. And you also want to make sure that you are drinking at least 2 to 4 liters of water a day. But that's me. I think the more water you drink, the better. Water is so good for weight loss. It helps you flush out everything, and it just helps the product work even better and be even more efficient. So water. And also if you don't drink enough water, you won't feel great. And you also want to make sure that you're having a high potassium diet, or you take Gonium. This is Gonium. This helps make sure that you have enough potassium. This is high in potassium. It has neem and moringa in it. That's just because it's going to detox you. And so when you're detoxing, you're losing electrolytes and potassium at a faster rate. And so that's why it's really important to make sure that you're replenishing that. So if you're making sure that you either add in more foods with high potassium, then that's great. But even so, sometimes you're still not going to feel like you have enough potassium. So that's why we recommend Gonium. That just really makes sure that you don't experience low potassium symptoms, because those are not fun at all. I've kind of gone over low potassium symptoms before, which could be headaches, fatigue, nausea, dizziness, heart palpitations, so on. They're not fun. So make sure that you get enough water and enough potassium. I also get questions about if there's anything food-wise that you should try to stay away. You don't want to restrict yourself necessarily from any food. You don't necessarily need to change your diet, which is really the amazing part about taking these supplements to lose weight. You don't really need to change your diet, at least in the beginning. But what we do recommend is that you stay away from really fatty foods, because this can really upset your stomach even more. And I'm going to talk about the detox symptoms in a little bit, but one of them is that you go to the bathroom often, at least in the beginning. So that's something that can kind of induce that more, as if you are eating really fatty foods, because one of the ways it works is by eliminating fatty substances from your body. And so it detects that and it'll just run right through you. It's not the best feeling ever. So that's just one thing that we recommend to stay away from if you notice that it's really not doing you good. So when you first start taking these supplements, you might notice that you start feeling the detox symptoms already. Most likely you won't though, because they don't usually react that quickly, but everyone is so different that literally it's possible. It's happened for some people. I think with these products, you're most likely not going to feel anything within the first week or two, or even a month. I really don't know. know. You just can't really tell with everyone and how they react. But what you might notice, at least in the first week to the first month, is that you start noticing some digestive differences. You might start feeling like you're going to the bathroom more often. You feel bloated, gassy. You could notice that you are feeling like a little bit more tired sometimes. Some other detox symptoms that you might experience is some body hardness. So sometimes where you have a lot of fat, you notice like your body fat starts to harden, or you start noticing like bumps under your skin. It looks like kind of like cellulite. It sounds scary, but I swear it goes away in like 1 to 2 weeks. And it's just from the fat basically accumulating, so that gets eliminated. That's just like how the supplements worked for me, at least. That's not something that everyone experiences though. And you can also sometimes feel like sore in those areas as well, like you had worked out or something. They feel like kind of tender. Those are, again, usually in the places that you have the most fat. Sometimes I would feel it in my neck, my face, because my face is somewhere that I hold a lot of fat and like mass. I don't know. My arms, my back, my stomach, my legs, like those are the areas that I would notice those symptoms. So that's possible for you as well. And that can happen within the first month. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for some people to notice it. Some people never experience it. Again, everyone's bodies are so different. So if you don't experience the detox symptoms, it does not mean that it's not working. So regardless of experiencing the symptoms or not, it should still be working. Call it a blessing if you don't experience the detox symptoms. Truly, truly. I've taken it before and people think it's just like a laxative, but it doesn't just work in that way. It eliminates fatty substances from your body, but that doesn't always mean it's through going number 2. It's through sweating, it's through peeing, like it's all different ways. You could also feel like an increase in energy. I know I felt like I was on top of the world. I don't know. I just felt like because I wasn't overly eating so much, maybe that was it too, that like I actually had energy and like I just felt more alive. You might experience that as well, but just expect some side effects or like detox symptoms as your body adjusts to the supplement. Like I mentioned before, there are symptoms of low potassium symptoms that aren't normal detox symptoms. And then there's the detox symptoms, which are something that you should expect. Low potassium symptoms, those are things that are avoidable that you should not experience if you're getting enough potassium. Again, those are nausea, headaches, fatigue, dizziness, cramping, heart palpitations. The list could go on, honestly. I would just look it up just so that you're aware, because these symptoms, like they should not happen if you are getting enough potassium and you're getting enough water, you're eating enough as well. If you're not doing all those things, if your body isn't getting what it needs, it'll let you know. So some benefits that you might notice from the supplement, at least the short-term benefits that you might experience in the beginning, is that it will lower your appetite, it lowers cravings. You might notice an increased metabolism. For me, it really helped with my anxiety around food. Because it lowered my appetite, I wasn't constantly thinking about food. I felt like satiated. It kept me satiated a lot longer. I just felt a lot more in control of myself, my body, my mind. I felt good. Like I felt like I wasn't being controlled by food. That's something that you could experience as well. Some of the long-term benefits that you might experience obviously is the weight loss, the fat loss. This will most likely be in the inches that you lose. So make sure that you're not just focusing on the scale, because really the number should not matter. The thing that we're really going for is fat loss, and that's how we fit in our clothes. That's our measurements, pictures, that's how you'll track those things. So try not to be so fixated on the number on the scale, because I promise you would not be happy if the number on the scale went lower, but you still fit the same weight in your clothes, right? Overall, it will help your health. It's helped so many people with PCOS who have always struggled to lose weight. It's helped people with diabetes. They will need to take less insulin because of this. Like it just helps in so many ways. So those are some of the long-term benefits you might notice. So some lifestyle recommendations that I have is that you do want to make sure that you try to incorporate some kind of activity. This isn't always necessary, but I think if you're trying to make this like a lifestyle change where at the end of this, you won't necessarily have to take a supplement to lose the weight, even though that's still a possibility if you want to maintain your weight using these supplements. That's totally an option. But I think some people want to be able just to have this lifestyle where they don't need this and they become more fit and they have these healthy habits with food, adding activity into your day little by little. This is honestly how I started my fitness journey. I had finally lost the weight and then I became interested in working out and going to the gym. And I was not that way at all before I had lost the weight. So I think this is really like a great way to get started with your fitness journey. I think it's a great way to just kind of take baby steps into walking 2 times a week. And then that might get you more interested in strength training or doing yoga, whatever it is. Like just start adding these little things, anything that you feel like you really like. Do the things that really make you enjoy the time that you're doing it, because I think that's what will really help you continue the physical activity that you're doing every day. Another thing, like I mentioned, is to make sure that you're staying hydrated. I highly recommend getting a hydro flask or a Stanley that you have that you fill up constantly. When I first started, I would fill up my hydro flask 2 to 4 times a day. Like I said, I recommend at least 3 liters a day. I really like the Stanley though, because it has a little straw, and so it just makes it super easy to just drink my water throughout the day. And also with diet, like I said, it's not necessarily recommended to change your diet in the beginning, but if you are trying to slowly create better lifestyle for yourself in terms of food, I think it's great to kind of try to start finding substitutes for things that you really love. I'm like super big into sweets, and so I think trying to find different healthy recipes for these things is a really great option. And I'm not saying to like never eat this and that ever again, because I don't believe that at all, not at all. But I think it's like really good to find substitutes and just still love the food that you eat, but like try to make it a little bit healthier. Try to take back the sugar as much as possible, because it is very addictive. Just try to make little lifestyle changes as you go along. And as far as monitoring your progress, like I had mentioned, you don't want to focus just on the scale, but I would recommend at least weighing yourself every month. I do have like a progress tracker that you can add your pictures every month, your measurements. That way you just can kind of see everything laid out every month, and you're gonna see the real change that your body is experiencing, not just the weight that you're taking every day, because that's just gonna discourage you. Weekly weigh-ins, that's honestly just going to discourage you. And that might sound crazy because you're like, why? I should be losing weight. But trust me, when I first started, my first 3 weeks, I had only lost like 3 pounds. Luckily, I wasn't discouraged by that because I literally wasn't doing anything. I was just taking the supplement, and I was like, thought about it, and I was like, wow, okay, I haven't changed anything. I'm literally just like living, and I lost 3 pounds. Like I was actually happy about that because I didn't have the highest expectations. I didn't expect it to work. And then slowly, as I kept using it, I was losing more weight and I was losing a lot more fat, but the fat loss was way more than the weight that I had lost. I had lost a decent amount of weight, but you could tell like it looked like I had lost a lot of fat. So just make sure that you're tracking everything, because the inches that you lose in the pictures will be the most accurate. Also, we do recommend the Trio Kit, which is this whole kit right here. Alkaline, this creates alkaline water. This helps get rid of toxins quicker. It helps your metabolism, helps with water retention. Ganium, again, this helps make sure you get enough potassium. And then this is the detox. And all of these things are just meant to help make the process more efficient and comfortable for you. We do recommend the Trio Kit for anyone who has diabetes, PCOS, hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, whatever it is. You can always email me about that, but we do recommend a lower dosage for you while taking the Trio Kit as well. Anything that you're wondering, like, should I be taking a lower dosage? Definitely email me and I will let you know what that lower dosage is. It's like a whole like plan of when to like starting lower and then making your way up to taking 1 a day. So yeah, email me if you have questions about that. If you are taking these supplements long term, like I have, I've been taking them since 2018. Well, I was taking the original product, but I've been taking it since 2018 and it's 2024. So if you're taking it long term, what has worked for me is making sure that I take breaks in between, because our bodies get used to these products. They don't become as effective after we've taken it every single day for years. I've never done that, but I have noticed like after months and months of taking it, I don't feel the effects as much as when I first took it. So what I would do is take breaks. I would take breaks for at least 2 weeks, up to many months, sometimes even like a year. And then I would use it again. And then I would notice that like jump in fat loss and the results, like it was great. So if you ever notice that you're kind of plateauing and you've been taking it for a while, highly recommend taking a small break. 2 weeks should be good, but I recommend at least a month if possible. If you're looking to maintain your weight with the supplements, then we usually recommend to take it every other day or every 2 days, maybe even every 3 days. See what works for you. If you're not wanting to use the supplement for maintenance and you've reached your goal weight, then you can always stop. But if you continue those habits that had caused you to gain weight in the first place, you will gain the weight back. This isn't some magical thing that's going to prevent you from ever gaining weight ever again, because if you go back to those eating eating habits of overeating, whatever it was, eating super sugary foods like I was always doing, and you're not taking the supplement, you're going to gain that weight back, okay? So either if you're going to stop taking the supplement, you need to have these lifestyle changes implemented. You need to be active. You need to be eating healthy. Whatever it is, there has to be some kind of like change that you make from before, which is very possible. This is something that really can help you like make those first steps. So I'd love that for you if you're able to create that new lifestyle for yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna do a really quick frequently asked questions segment. So the first question is, what happens if you miss a dose? So this happens a lot. Usually what I would do is I would just take it immediately when I remembered, or I would just wait until the next time I was supposed to take it. You don't want to be taking 2 in a day just because you forgot the previous day. Either if I say I forgot yesterday and usually I take it in the afternoon, then I would just take it when I usually take it, quite honestly. I would just have missed that previous day. If you honestly just want to continue taking it, you just kind of like missed out on the day. There's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, don't try to overcompensate by taking 2 the next day. That's just going to get you sick. It's okay if you miss a day here and there, but honestly, the more consistent you are, the better results that you are going to have. So if you need to set an alarm for yourself or whatever it is, just try to be as consistent as possible. Other question is, can I take the ELV with other supplements and medication? So the answer is yes. You of course want to always check with your doctor, but the ELV itself doesn't interfere with any medication, so that's totally fine. We only say that you shouldn't take it with any other appetite suppressants or fat burners because that's just going to be too much for you. And I also get asked a lot about birth control, and yes, you can take the ELV with birth control. I had regular birth control before and I was taking it and it was perfectly fine. So yeah, it doesn't interfere with any medication, even birth control. And lastly, is the ELV safe for everyone? The people who should not take it are people who are pregnant, anyone who's breastfeeding, anyone under 18 years old, over 65 years old, if you have any underlying health condition, if you are healing from any kind of surgery or sickness, illness, whatever it is. That's why you want to email me if you have health conditions or underlying health conditions that you're wondering if you can still take it with, so I can give you that information. Yeah, if you have any like issues with your kidneys, heart, liver, anything like that, like, oh, and if you're anemic, you're not going to want to take the supplements. And also just a reminder that I do have a Facebook group where you can join and talk with other people who are taking the supplements. I think it's really cool to kind of experience it with other people, ask people what they're going through, and just kind of like relate on that level. I wish I had more people that I could talk to about it because I really just had like maybe one person. So I think it's really cool to kind of speak and have a community that you can talk to about weight loss. It doesn't even have to be about the supplement itself. The group is specifically just for people who have bought from me, but you could always talk about tips and anything else having to do with weight loss and give each other advice and support each other. That's also a group where I kind of let people know about sales and anything exclusive first, so it's always good to be added onto that group as well, unless you already follow me on like Instagram and stuff. All right guys, that is everything. I know that was a lot, but I hope that was helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on my socials. I have so much more information on my TikTok and Instagram that I think is really helpful, so follow me on there. And of course, any links that I talked about, the link for Facebook, my socials, to even purchase any of these supplements will be in the description, so look out for those. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I know I haven't been posting in a while, but hopefully more content will be coming very soon. And I believe I will be starting actually a new TikTok very soon, just to help with more weight loss tips and just to have more support and give more advice on there. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.